Hi, Adrian. Um, Not great at preamble, so I'm just gonna do poems, I think. I think that might be the coolest way to go. So, um, I like to start by reading a cover poem, and I forgot to send this to Aaron, so apologies, it won't be on the thing, but it is very, very, very short, this cover poem. It's by a poet I have a lot of love for, called Douglas Kearney. It's from his first book, Fearsome. It's a very, very short poem, but I feel like opening a space with the work of somebody I admire is like just my vibe and my thing. So this is Temper. Those summers older brothers twisted, knots into fists made me show I could escape. When I snapped the bonds round the block's length, faced smiths with slapped I needed for strength, rope soldered, wrists open, chest fired by smouldering adolescence. I wanted their skins to claim mine, forge proof of that heavy craft. Cool. Just a little poem about being angry. Um, yeah. So next poem, for a friend. This is from my first pamphlet, 5,000 Hertz, which is about pain and recontextualizing pain and changing the way we think about how we harm each other and how we are harmed and how we harm ourselves, less as wounds and separating things and more like tinnitus, you know, whether that it's a bomb going off for a rock concert you loved, your ears are damaged in the same way, and it changes your perception from that point onwards. I also have very severe tinnitus, which is really annoying because I'm an audio editor and I do things with sound all the time. But I also have to I actually have plugins that help me deal with the fact that my hearing has this 5 kilohertz tone running through it at all times. So yeah, there's that. But this is one of those poems from that pamphlet. This is for a friend. I'm ashamed to admit I envy you where you are, in your endless warm Sunday afternoon with your white hyacinth and a good smoke, looking back at me, lashed to time, infected with living, spitting bitter nails out of windows into evening peach skies. I get why you couldn't wait. You can't plan these things. Your curse had more courtesy, it wore white gloves, so you who first dared call sleep by its other name, showed how thinking of tits would make the blood draw quicker, you who made the chair a chariot, you're perfect now, aren't you? Your eulogy was probably birdsong. Mine will be crowded silence, misused punctuation. Danke. Next poem. Is another one from 5,000 Hertz. I've forgotten how many of those I'd put in. Yes. This is Harrow. So it goes at quite a pace, this one. Again, this one is a little bit more personal to the experience of pain. I've had gosh, 30, I'm 31 now, so technically I have been ill for longer than I have been not ill. So as many people who'd recognize with this current age of long COVID, I got an illness when I was 14, 15. Nasty virus tried to make my brain go boom. Recovered from that and then unrecovered really quickly and never got better, with my wiring still consistently fritzing out and bits of limbs turning on and off as they see fit. It turns out that a random virus you get, and turns out quite a few of the people got it as well around the same time, can have permanent effects. So long COVID is real, fear it. But yeah, I went through lots and lots of diagnosis and started to kind of blend all of those bits of diagnosis and hospital stays and doctor's offices into one strange liminal space, which I'd like to say was a poetic device, but actually isn't, because
Lots and lots of painkillers will completely and utterly screw your memory to the point where you have no short or medium term memory. Hence, I read instead of memorizing my poems, and your long term memory turns to mush. So, this is Harrow, the one long, persistent memory I have of medical intervention.
Harrow. Let me sing to you of pain. The song has but 3 notes, voice breathless, and 11 distinct syllables: fentanyl, tramadol, pregabalin, and hope. Sob to the tune of a chattering parliament of rooks, its refrain echoing in a man-shaped space. All shit, no shadow, not enough left to make its own sound. Strings worn thin before secession, before the harrowing, when nephrons were kin, when sticky lungs were capable of moaning. Well, less a moan than a hum, a blowfly in a bottle. Hum, its eggs amongst your thoughts. Hum, an idling MRI. Hum, tests, inconclusive. Hum, no blood but the blood you made, thumbing through leaflets in the waiting room. Hum, deciding which one of God's 99 names you try calling today. He's clever like that, God. A cellblock beating only shows beneath the clothes and behind the eyes, lost in daydreaming of enhanced interrogation in the small hours, at least in black sites. They ask questions. The specialists spit, give me a name between the solder burns and drill bits to the kneecaps, a Hail Mary, a key for the exit, a chance to end it, all by dribbling morphemes over your chin. Here, even if you knew the answers, no one is asking. Instead, the specialists are singing. A song of 3 notes struck fortissimo and 9 distinct syllables, a pen scritch, riffling forms and silence. Prescribed to the rhythm of a cow knocker on late shift. In this song, there was only today, 2:15 p.m. The notes have no beginning. They can find only a sharpened end, calling sweetly as they exhale before a rifle shot, as a pinprick through the day fever, as a dusty pill and the dry swallow. Can't tell them what you don't know, can you? And you only know nausea and the smoldering of marrow now, and the myriad configurations of opium poppies now. And besides, they stopped asking questions years ago. Cool. Next poem is from the uh, new book, We Are Always and Forever Ending. I just got thrown there because the subtitles for a second said next opponent, and I was like, "Is this really? Who do I fight? Am I fighting? Okay, no, just autocorrect." So yeah, this is Countryside. This was the poem that got me this book because it was the poem that was in PBLJ. Um, that one of two I sent to Norj and Nosh and Sana, and both of them said, "Okay, but what? Yes, what is this? Okay, wow." And I was like, "Oh, okay, but what about the other one?" They're like, "No, no, 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 Countryside." So yeah. And also, it's very strange to do this one live because I've done it live and it wasn't written to be done live. Um, because when you say Countryside on a mic, people go, "Oh, cool, so this is going to be about trees," because you can't really do spelling over audio. So yeah, Countryside. We are not dying, no. The cocks rot on heavy boughs, fecund rumps of melon squash black with flies, and tubers treasured since the blight of Black Force 7, seed and split, take their chance in the loam to be mothers too young. Badger trundles from her burrow, butts her hoary head to the twin barrels of the cull. There are no longer cows. The cows are gone. Where more than 3 elms stand together, 2 are aflame. The high street littered with acorns, mouldering. A white van in a lake settles in the sludge. We ignore the frantic scratch beyond the doors. We have manners. This is England. These days, the waves are ruled by a mothballed carrier in the Tyne. These days, Britannia hurls her spear into the open dark. These days, our coffins are Englished oak. These days, we speak English in the kebab shop. English, you mug, speak it. These days are not your days anymore. What are you staring at? Got a problem? Don't look at me. Don't fucking look at me. Yes. Can you guess how I voted in Brexit? Um, yeah, just I try really hard not to do angry poems, and then the world happens, and then you kind of just have to. Um, so yeah, here's another one. From my first book as well. I keep doing this thing where I'm like, well, I'll write a poem and I'll perform a poem, and if it stops being relevant, I'll stop performing it, and that's fine. And I end up with poems that I've been performing for, gosh, one that's later on in the set, probably about almost almost eight, oh gosh, almost 8 years, which is yeah. And this is one of these wrote way back when the list of names were what was capable of remembering them. I think this was Eric Garner, so it'd only been Trayvon and Eric, maybe Tamir Rice, but there was less than 10, fewer than 10. Sorry, grammar. So I wrote this. Strange fruit, these bad apples. The new lynching is a complex art. A multi-step semiotic chain of cable news police nights and dog whistles, and the body of a young black man in the rain-sleeked street, and the body of a young black man in the midday sun, and the body of a young black woman in a county station jail cell, and the officer who feared for his life, and an America that fears the outsider, where the devil himself walks unmolested, unmurdered, unnoticed, because he has the look of a banker, a concerned citizen, a southern preacher, your sweet uncle, a man just doing his job. Whether young and black, hands raised, walking away, walking towards, kneeling, driving, parking in a hoodie, in a suit, daring to breathe, trying to work, obnoxiously loud, suspiciously quiet, not respectful enough of a bad, facetiously respectful of authority, or simply too uppity to be intimidated by the seemingly common bad apple, are portrayed as an animal. An existential threat to an America keen to remind us of the absence of black in the red, white, and blue you see. Swinging blackberries, the strange fruit of poplar trees ripening in the heat, that was a message to a neighborhood. Stay quiet, know your place. The Klan no longer wear hoods. An unarmed man bled out as prey on the evening news on the streets he called home. That is a message to a nation. Stay quiet, know your place, or our bullets will keep you there. Thank you. Let's see. This was the other poem that I told myself I would stop performing when it stopped becoming relevant. But yeah, we are now down in our fair city of Birmingham to roughly one youth violence assault per week, one youth violence killing per 2 months, which is down on the 2017 record where we had 14. So it was just over on a month. Yeah, I believe we should talk very differently about youth violence because we have a habit of pointing fingers and increasing the amount of time we put people in prison, which doesn't fucking work. And we should talk a little bit more about how entire communities, in the best case scenario, when somebody actually gets caught for the crime, has two young people who could have jobs and futures and lives removed ad infinitum, done and gone. And that space is permanent. So I wrote a poem about it. Boy-shaped space. Boy-shaped space. Talking about grief. too comfortably to seem at all harmed by the violence of absence. The boy-shaped space is a symptom, not the problem. Because for you, a killing is about a death, but for me, a killing is about everything else. Because now his certificates, once presented triumphant, pinned for posterity by the magnet from Auntie's Grenada trip, glow. Because the small stacks of spare change, the coins dusted with stubble, the remnants of 350 fades and spent on supermalt shine. Because the bull's jacket, scarlet as credit, his favorite, either on his back or the red signal of his nearness through frosted glass, is neither now too contaminated with him to return to us, they said. The space where it hung flickers bright enough to fool your heart because the unseen channel change. Vivid cartoons he's never too old for. The second you leave the room are gone now. It's still the news. He's not there either. In the grey-white news, neither in the photographed 6x8 memories in underbed boxes. A smile, bright as the chasm left between his sweet crooked tie, the mimic finger guns of his older cousins, and his man-sized coffin. To you, a boy died. To me, a boy-shaped space forced its way into being. A boy-shaped space made of things, these everythings, glaring bright as a bare bulb in a high cell, a hard light in the dark, revealing every crack and stain of an empty room. So I'm comfortable talking about grief, because that comfort is the symptom of many eternal boy-shaped spaces. Their presence shining, however tightly shut you screw your eyes. Cool. I don't know how many poems I've got left. Oh, I've got a couple left. Awesome. I don't know how much time I've got left. Aaron says, okay. I won't go for too much longer. Let's see. I tell you what, I will do Leave to Remain, and then I'll end on a slightly mad high. Yeah, and I won't do the final poem I was going to end on because it's. Let's end on a high. Cool. So I'm going to do Leave to Remain and then one more poem after that. So Leave to Remain is a bit of an experiment. I like experiments. I like formal experiments, and it's designed to be read in multiple ways. So have fun. And yeah, I'll read. It's short, so I'll read it two ways it can be read. So Leave to Remain. I'm not sure if in the dark this is a poem, memorized parables, or a dream in preparation. Nonetheless, I say, crack for war, I say, split the window, love, for when they come for us, we invite the dark and we'll try to. Listen, we are travelers here, nonetheless, you sit, only ever visitors tonight in silence, thinking of loss, leave as you find, pondering probability. We do not belong. The rhythm of footsteps lacking the appropriate disposition for quiet, papers to stay coalescing outside the door till morning would make us unsure of the nature of criminals. Nonetheless, our endings, yet knowing we crack knuckles, they end, we wait. I am not sure if this is a poem or a dream. Nonetheless, I say, crack the window, love, for we invite the dark. Listen, we are travelers here, only ever visitors tonight, leave as you find. We do not belong, lacking the appropriate papers to stay. Till morning would make us criminals nonetheless. We crack knuckles in the dark, memorize parables in preparation for war. I say split when they come for us, and we'll try to. Nonetheless, you sit in silence, thinking of lost, pondering probability, the rhythm of footsteps, disposition for quiet, coalescing outside the door, and sure of the nature of our endings, yet knowing they end, we wait. Cool. So yeah, that's about the hostile environment and the Windrush generation and their tenuous temporality.
Cool. I'm going to end on this one because it's long and it's mad, and I like to end on a high. And this is the couple, and it's dedicated to that couple on holiday. I'm very bad at holidays. I don't do relaxing very well, and if you give me any time to sit on the beach, I will probably start going insane. Um, oh yeah, thanks, Nate. Oh, the Bush Out Space was a film commissioned by the BBC as well, so you can watch that on the thing with the link. And yeah, cool. Anyway, the couple, yeah, I love this because it gets mad, and it's in We Are Always and Forever Ending, and it's been an absolute pleasure to read in this insanely good company. I wish I could all like share a drink with you all afterwards, because I could, but it would be probably very, very flat by the time it got to you. Sorry. Yeah, so this is the couple. Sat across from us, the couple have been a shining fixture in our dining experience for weeks, though not quite across from us today. Instead, 3 tables away from us and 2 across, everyone has noticed. The couple draw the eye in ways only beings built for each other can. A meeting of split teak, wall for wall, and tan. Good God, they're tan. The couple bronze and happy with the joy that ripples into the others around them as bitterness. Women pull tight armfuls beneath pits, men shucking paunches pale as mold-furred moons, and the couple smiling in their joy, teeth eye ache bright as northern European skies, and so tall. She at least 6 foot, and him eye height with the waiter while sat and they're eating the same all-inclusive buffet delicacies as everyone about them, yet in combinations that seem to be the only combinations that make any sense. Everything they eat, the couple, is something I want. The couple makes me salivate for quinoa. The couple are eating quinoa, and though I have no fond memories exactly of the taste of quinoa, yet as the couple eat it, I need it. We need it. We watch the couple with their ochre bodies eating quinoa, and we, the diners, heap the quinoa into ice cream, stir it into pints of warm lager, dust the sauce of duck chow mein with the quinoa, and it is delicious. The couple and the beautiful couple, both so tall, 9 foot tall, the eyes the hues of split jade, and the last oak in Oxford are laughing, and their laughter is music, and the diners cannot help but move to the music. They hate the couple with a love that exhibits itself first as disregard, strained neck muscles, furtive glances, lusty glimpses at a flash of breast and rippling back and lips and jaw. Each diner would subsume themselves into that back, those breasts, if they could. Many do, rising quietly, folding napkins, tucking phones into pockets of Bermuda shorts, and pressing themselves into the taut calves, the ebony flesh of the couple, so tall, so tanned, and they are consumed. And the couple, 2 stories tall now, obsidian and shining, they rise, and as they rise, they sweep the dining room towards them with the gravity of a dying star, and quinoa streams in sandstorms off of plates into their orbit, and they tip the waiter with gold, and they embrace, and in their embrace is the world, and the beauty of their embrace is like the oceans of the world. And diners, some of them overcome by the embrace, begin to weep and strip off bootleg Arsenal journeys, floral print sarongs, bearing their nakedness to the ocean of their joy. Others, overwhelmed, simply cease. Oh, there's a poem bit missing from the poem. Huh. I will. I'm gonna have to get it from my book. Don't mind me. Here we go. Oh, there we are. Exiting this place with a wistful sigh, leaving their fruit juice and skirt steak to the flies, and the couple, their towering magnificence rendering the building to ruin, stride through the wreckage of the dining hall, and the diners from the rubble watch them stride across the compound, palms blooming in the cool shadow of their passing. They step over the beach entirely, hand in hand into the ocean, dark and twinkling eyes blue shifted into the troposphere, perfect fucking hair in infinitely tessellating curls. The couple, hand in hand, stride into the sea. Their footsteps quiver the cliffs and turn the sand to glass, and they are beautiful, and they are radiant, and they are gone. Thank you very much. I've been Think White Fly, aka Adrian B Earle, and yeah, this has been jokes, man. This has been awesome.